Hey folks, I'm excited to take you on a journey through time to explore some of history's most influential leaders. You know, I've always been fascinated by these incredible figures who shaped our world. So grab your metaphorical time machine and let's dive into the lives of some truly remarkable individuals who left an indelible mark on human history. Alright, let's kick things off with Alexander the Great. Now, this guy was something else. At just 20 years old, he inherited a powerful kingdom from his father, Philip II of Macedon. But Alexander, he wasn't content with just sitting on his throne. No, sir, he had bigger plans. You see, Alexander took that foundation his father built and turned it into an empire that stretched from Greece all the way to Egypt and into the heart of Asia. We're talking about a massive territory here, folks, and the way he did it, pure military genius. His tactics in battles like Granicus River, Issus, and Gaugamela, they're still studied in military academies today. Now let's fast forward a couple thousand years to the 20th century. We've got another towering figure here, Winston Churchill. This guy, let me tell you, he was something special. When Britain was facing its darkest hour during World War II, Churchill stepped up to the plate in a big way. In 1940, Britain was standing alone against the Nazi war machine. Things were looking pretty grim. But Churchill, he wasn't having any of it. His powerful speeches rallied a nation that was on the brink of despair. "We shall fight on the beaches," he said. And fight they did. All right, now we're going to shift gears and talk about Nelson Mandela. If there's ever been a symbol of the fight against injustice, it's this man right here. Mandela dedicated his life to dismantling the apartheid system in South Africa, and let me tell you, it wasn't an easy road. Mandela spent 27 years in prison on Robben Island. Can you imagine that? 27 years. But get this, his imprisonment became a powerful symbol of resistance. And when he finally walked free, he didn't seek revenge. No. Mandela's commitment to forgiveness and reconciliation, even with his former oppressors, is a powerful testament to his character. Now, let's take a trip back to the 13th century and talk about Genghis Khan. This guy started from humble beginnings and ended up creating the largest contiguous land empire in history. That's no small feat, folks. Genghis Khan united the Mongol tribes and then went on to conquer most of Eurasia. But listen to this, Genghis Khan wasn't just about conquest. He established a complex system of governance, promoted religious tolerance, and created one of the first international postal systems. The Pax Mongolica, or Mongol Peace, allowed for increased trade and cultural exchange across his vast empire. It's a classic case of don't judge a book by its cover, or in this case, don't judge a leader just by the battles they've won. Did you know that some historians estimate that about 1 in 200 men alive today are direct descendants of Genghis Khan? Talk about leaving a legacy. All right, now we're heading to 15th century France to meet Joan of Arc. This young woman's story is truly remarkable. At just 17 years old, she led French troops to victory against the English in the 100 Years' War. Can you imagine that? A teenage girl leading armies in medieval Europe? Joan claimed to have visions from God, and whether you believe that or not, her faith gave her the courage to do extraordinary things. She inspired the French troops and turned the tide of the war. Unfortunately, Joan's story doesn't have a happy ending. She was captured, put on trial for heresy, and burned at the stake. But her legacy, it lived on. Joan of Arc became a symbol of French unity and was later canonized as a saint. You know, it took nearly 500 years. But Joan was finally declared a saint in 1920. Talk about a long-term impact. Now, let's talk about one of America's greatest presidents, Abraham Lincoln. This man led the United States through its bloodiest conflict, the Civil War, and managed to preserve the Union. But that's not all, folks. Lincoln also took the crucial step of abolishing slavery with the Emancipation Proclamation. Lincoln's leadership during this tumultuous time was marked by his wisdom, his ability to bring together a team of rivals, and his unwavering commitment to the ideals of democracy. His Gettysburg Address, delivered in just over 2 minutes, is still considered one of the most powerful speeches in American history. Lincoln's tragic assassination cut his life short, but his impact on American history is immeasurable. Did you know that Lincoln was the first president to be assassinated in U.S. history? It's a somber reminder of the price of leadership. Let's head back to ancient times and talk about Cleopatra, the last active ruler of the Ptolemaic Kingdom of Egypt. Now, Cleopatra is often remembered for her beauty and her relationships with Julius Caesar and Mark Antony. But let me tell you, she was so much more than that. This woman was a skilled diplomat, a naval commander, and spoke multiple languages. Cleopatra managed to keep Egypt independent at a time when Rome was swallowing up territories left and right. She wasn't afraid to use every tool at her disposal, including her charisma and intelligence, to protect her kingdom. While she ultimately couldn't prevent Egypt from becoming a Roman province, Cleopatra's reign marked the end of an era and the transition from the Hellenistic period to the Roman era. You know, despite her fame, we don't actually know what Cleopatra looked like. The images we have of her are mostly Roman interpretations. Talk about a mysterious figure. Our final leader is Mahatma Gandhi, and let me tell you, this man changed the game when it came to political resistance. Gandhi led India's non-violent independence movement against British rule and inspired movements for civil rights and freedom across the world. His philosophy of non-violent resistance, or satyagraha, showed that you could bring about massive political change without resorting to violence. Gandhi's methods, including civil disobedience and hunger strikes, put enormous pressure on the British government. But it wasn't just about independence for Gandhi. He also worked tirelessly to improve the lives of India's poorest people and to promote religious harmony. Gandhi's influence extended far beyond India's borders, inspiring leaders like Martin Luther King Jr. and Nelson Mandela. Did you know that Gandhi was nominated for the Nobel Peace Prize 5 times but never won? Sometimes, the greatest leaders don't need official recognition to change the world. And there you have it, folks. We've traveled through time and across continents to meet some of history's greatest leaders. From Alexander's military genius to Gandhi's non-violent resistance, each of these individuals left an indelible mark on the world. So what do you think? Who's your pick for the greatest leader in history? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and let's keep this conversation going. Until next time, keep exploring and stay curious.